Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ariel from Blessed with Motherhood, and I'm so excited to discuss today how I plan for the homeschooling week. Now, in another video, I'll address how I plan for a new homeschooling year, which is really exciting. It requires way more things. So that, and then I'll also share curriculum picks for next year as they are arriving. It's so exciting when curriculum comes in. We are using Ambleside Online, but we still get a few things that come in, especially books. But I'm excited to try out a bunch of different things this year, and I feel like it's always my birthday whenever I get those. But that'll be another video. Today I will be talking about how I plan for our homeschool week. And the first thing I do is I print out the Ambleside Online schedule. That happens right away when I'm planning for a new homeschool year. But this is going to be what guides me to how I plan each week, because each column is what you should be getting done, as well as there is more stuff on this side too, but I will write it all in my planner. And I also use a timetable, and I'll show better views of these, but the timetable is kind of it's how I just look at what subjects are done each week. It was kind of to keep me on task. The time is less important. This is more like a goal. You know, it's kind of like a daily rhythm, but with time. I'd like to start at 9. It doesn't always happen. And I'd like to finish before lunchtime. That doesn't always happen either. But it just kind of is like a goal of I'd like to stay moving. This is how long each subject. This is when we do a subject each day of the week. We're mostly Monday through Thursday, with Friday being more like saved for our homeschool adventure group, which does field trips with our friends or nature hikes, like long nature hikes, because we can do them during the week as well, but Fridays can be longer, or park play dates. You know, it's reserved for fun. I also keep it open. There's poetry tea time, but if I see a chance to do poetry tea time during the Monday through Thursday slots, then I will do that. It all depends how I feel at this stage in pregnancy. But we did poetry tea time regularly on Tuesdays, but it kind of jumps around now, depending on if I have some baked goods or if we have treats. You know, you could just make it very simple and just make popcorn or anything very simple. It doesn't have to be elaborate, but it's something that we like to bake together, especially on Mondays. So if we can get that done, otherwise Friday will be the day. And I try to just loop our schedules. We don't do our riches every single day, the same riches every single day. We do different ones and we loop them. So I will share a little bit more on that in a different angle, but I'll take the timetable and I'll take our Ambleside Online schedule, and it makes it so easy to just put everything in my planner real quick. And why I use these 3 is because the Ambleside Online schedule is how I know what I'm supposed to do each week, and then the timetable is what specific things I felt worked out into like a nice rhythm each day of the week, and then this is what we're actually doing, and broken down into subjects so that I can check off what we have done, reverse plan, and write down what we actually did. Anything that we don't get done that day, needs to be moved. Friday is also our catch-up day. So if we have to keep moving stuff down the line, we will have to use Friday at one point as our way to catch up to like what we wanted to get done that week. It's not about falling behind. It's just like, this is what we had planned to get done this week. And so if we need 5 days instead of 4, we have it. So I'll share a little bit more of that in a different angle, but it shouldn't take you too long. In the beginning, it takes you a long time because you might not know what you're doing. It took me a while to make the timetable because I tested out actually one for a while, and I just found that I needed more time on certain days, especially I had originally gotten rid of our morning time, and I did not want to get rid of our morning time anymore. So I have it scheduled kind of like Ambleside Online in our planner: morning time, daily work, weekly work, history and natural history, literature, poetry, and tales, and then preschool and toddler time. Right now I'm taking a break from our preschool curriculum as I adjust our schedule to see like where that would maybe fit in. Probably more like where I have morning basket. That'd be good for my preschooler, to have her stuff, because she is still in formal lessons, so none of her stuff takes a very long time. And then just like reminders for me, like mother prep and mother culture, just reminders to seek my own education as well by reading books, reading up on homeschooling and Charlotte Mason. And also like reminders, because I am very forgetful if I don't write down like call the dentist or something. So, but if you're new to homeschooling, it does take a little while to kind of fill out like a planner or anything, just so, because you're still kind of trying to guess when you want to do stuff. But after like a few years in, and especially since we're on term 3, because even each new school year you can kind of not know what you want out of that like schedule yet. So especially in term 3, it takes me about 10 minutes. I plan allotted time, like a certain time on Sundays, uh, sometimes Saturdays if I know Sunday is going to be busy. But I plan a time where I fill everything in, and I like to go through like any curriculum we have, and just kind of page through it and see where we are, and maybe write down like the first like Mondays, like we're on page 57, and just kind of go from there and see how many pages we get done. As well as it's really nice to go through and flip through all the books that you're planning on reading that week and seeing like the page count. That is really helpful, because then you kind of know how much time to allot for it, because it does differ. Ambleside Online does pay attention to the page counting when it's scheduled each chapter or each reading in for each week, so they try not to heavy load you, but still it's good to know if something's going to be on the longer side, to allot more time for that. As that really helps for pre-reading. Pre-reading is something I did over the summer, and during the terms I tried to stay one term ahead. I'm going to be getting pre-reading for year 3 pretty soon, because I think I needed a lot more time than our short summer break. But pre-reading is another good one to kind of mark down how many pages each reading is, and you kind of just set yourself up so that when you do weekly planning, it's so simple and quick that it takes no time. So here is a more in-depth look at term 3 for year 2. And so these are easily printed out for free on Ambleside's website, so you can check Ambleside Online for all of this. But I like to mark off what we did, and then each week, it's a guideline of what I need to do and write down, and what we need to get done. There's a little bit on this side too. But then I like to take a look at my timetable, and I use the time as more of a guide. Sometimes it does get done. Sometimes it does get done at lunch. Sometimes we do start, but most of the time, especially with a toddler or any younger kids, anybody, even myself, I might be slow going in the mornings. It doesn't get done exactly at this time, but this is kind of what I shoot for. This is my goal. And then these just kind of tell me what I had planned, Monday, Tuesday, so that when I look in this, I can just kind of plug it into here and then plug it into here. And like morning time, I brought back, if you're going to do a timetable, it's something that probably requires like experimenting, because this is my like second or third draft, and I had taken out morning time originally, but I really liked it. And I have a mother binder where I keep everything, and a student binder where I keep my kiddos stuff and morning menus and stuff. So it was kind of silly to like open and shut the binders like throughout the lessons. So anything that is in the binder is part of morning time. So we have hymn and folk song, which they change every other day. BSF, actually, it kind of throws a wrench in my plans. I love it so much. It's our Bible study, and the kids go to it as well with me, and we learn like the same stuff for Bible study, but it doesn't end until much later, like around lunchtime. So really Wednesday is kind of, this whole time is taken up by BSF, but I still have these plans so that when we get home after lunch, we kind of are able to work on this. And I didn't want to change the time for just Wednesday. So especially if there's no BSF, it is like year round, but there are quite a few breaks too. So this is good to just have when there isn't a BSF schedule or during summer. But then we have our Bible that it switches between Old and New Testament each day, as well as recitation. We'll do the Bible recitation and the poems recitation. Again, that switches every other day. And then we have different riches that are part of every day. And Fridays are my kind of fun days, but I do schedule morning time in if we can get to that. And then different subjects and loop subjects, as well as stuff we do every day. So both the weekly and the daily are mixed into here. And so then I'll just plug those in and I'll check off what we get done if I remember, or I'll have to come back and probably check stuff off too if I forget, which I usually do. But then I'll cross out things we don't get done and I'll write down what we actually did. So this is a great thing for record keeping. I don't have to record keep, but I like the idea that I'm prepared should I ever need to. And this is just a really good guide for me too, to kind of make sure it all kind of fits into what we're planning. And Fridays I leave very open for any kind of catch up work. So those are just a look inside of planner, timetable, and Ambleside Online schedule. So then I also have my little pencil bag, and so I have these highlighters, and I have like my colors of the subjects, and there's a whole bunch of them, but I keep only what is necessary in here, and then I have a different pencil bag for everything else. But I keep the colors of the subjects that I like to kind of just keep the subjects color coordinated. And then these are my favorite pens. I'll link all of these too because they're kind of hard to see right now. But I have my pens and just different highlighters too that I highlight Ambleside Online schedule with. But those are my favorite to plan with. That's how I plan my homeschooling week. It isn't as difficult as it seems, especially once you get into like your own good rhythm and have your plans pretty solidly laid out. It just goes by really quick. You can plug it into a planner in about 10 minutes and you can flip through curriculum very fast, maybe 10-15 minutes for the whole thing. And you kind of just set yourself up for the best success as a teacher, as a mother teacher, for during the week. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys commenting and liking and sticking around. It's always fun. Any suggestions for videos is always welcome. I have like a long list, but I also have trouble picking which one to do next as we're entering the third trimester of pregnancy too. I kind of jump around of what I want to film. So just thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.